Hey everybody, this is Robert from Black Belt Gaming. I hope you're doing well. I'm about to continue my playthrough of Mansions of Madness 2nd Edition, and I'm going to jump into the third round. So let's pick up where we left off in this first scenario. Looks pretty safe at the moment. I'm sure that's very deceiving. We've got Harvey Walters kind of one space to the north, and Jenny Barnes is still sitting in the dining room along with the butler. So let me think about which one I want to move first. Alright everybody, this is the board and how it looks right now. We've got Jenny Barnes here beside the butler Eugene. We are in pretty good shape. Jenny Barnes has, however, suffered a little bit of horror, about 2 cards worth, and they are face down. Why don't I start with her? And I think to sort of recover from her previous encounter with this creature, this otherworldly creature, I wonder if we should go ahead and let her use her whiskey. And let's take a look and see again if that is indeed a good choice. It says, as an action, she can discard 2 face-down horror, and then she flips this card. It says after you're going to flip it over, it becomes a broken bottle. So maybe that can be used as a weapon. You smash the bottle. It is crude, but it will make a good enough weapon if you get into trouble. Treat this as a bladed weapon, doing 1 damage. Alright, well that's going to be her first action. Let me see if that's anything I can do in the application. I honestly don't know. Well, I didn't see anything. So I think I'm just supposed to remove these 2 face-down horror cards. I guess perhaps discard them. And we've already flipped over the bottle. It's now a broken bottle, so I think that completes her first action. Alright, so there she was in the dining room. She took a big drink of whiskey and perhaps broke the bottle over the head of this strange corpse in the dining room. And now she's going to look over to Eugene and maybe see if she can talk to him. The old man brushes himself off and tries to calm his shaken composure. You came just in time. Thank you so much for saving me. The name is Eugene. We spoke earlier today. I have heard noises from the yard, but the door is locked. I think something bad is going to happen. Well, let's take an action and ask, where is Mr. Vanderbilt? Oh, I don't know. Maybe we should ask him if he's okay. Wouldn't that be the polite thing to do? Let's do that. The butler puts on a weak smile, and the 2 of you chat for a minute. By the end of the conversation, he seems much calmer. Please, take this with you. It has always brought me luck. Gain the Lucky Rabbit's Foot common item. Then each investigator in the dining room discards 1 horror. Ooh, we already drank our whiskey. So, well, chatting with somebody nicely did reward us here with the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. So let's get that. Alright everybody, here is the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. It is a piece of equipment, and it says once per round you may re-roll 1 die. That's very nice. Reroll 1 die once per round. We'll take it. We'll put it into our inventory. Alright, well, we've placed the Lucky Rabbit's Foot into Jenny Barnes' inventory. Let's continue. That was both of her actions. So let's go to Harvey Walters. He is in this area right here. He's going to check out this painting. A mysterious painting of a landscape under the night sky overlooks the lavish entryway. Let's take an action and search it. Shadowy figures can be seen amidst the landscape. However, something in the stars catches your interest, and we need to make a lore check and see if he can figure out what that is. Alright, well this is what he's checking out right here, this painting, and let's take a look and see what the lore is for Harvey Walters. Lore is 4, so we're going to roll 4 dice. I don't know what I need, so I think I just need to roll and enter whatever I get. And the magnifying glass is not going to help us here. That's only going to help us, I believe, when we make observation tests. The equipment here, the lucky cigarette case, that might still be useful. Once per round we can convert the magnifying glasses into successes, so let's remember that. The statue's not going to do anything, and our spell and our lantern's not going to do anything. So here we go. 4 dice. We've got 2 successes, so let's go back to the application and enter that information. Alright everybody, I don't know how good or bad this is, but our good buddy Harvey Walters got 2 successes there on his lore check. Says you identify several of the specks of light in the sky as planets. They are all occupying the same section of the sky, as if coming into alignment, not unlike the planets in the sky tonight. Beneath the painting, a plaque reads, "In memory of Lilith Vanderbilt. Gain 2 clues, then discard this search token." Well, this is looking pretty good for Harvey. He's up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 clue tokens. And he still has another action, so let's think about what we want to do there. Okay, so the planets are in line tonight. That doesn't sound very good. Let's continue. And I think we need to take that search token off of the table. We will do that. Then he's got one more action. So we can take a move, or perhaps he will explore with his next action in this direction. It says, just reading his card again, as an action, another investigator within range gains 1 clue. But I don't think that Jenny Barnes is technically in range because she's through a door, so I don't think that would work. Remember, Harvey's here and Jenny Barnes is there, so I don't think that would work. So let's explore in this direction. The door leads to a small front room of the mansion. Explore. The light of the entry shines into the dimly lit office as you open the door. A lamp sits on a large wooden desk, casting long shadows across a mess of papers and books scattered around the room. Place the study tile as indicated and discard any Explore tokens leading to it. Okay, the tile is placed and the token is discarded. Let's continue. The desktop under the lamp is cluttered with papers. Place a search token as indicated. Alright, I've got one right here. I'll put it right where you see it on the screen. Let's continue. Across the room, a bookcase stacked with books and other items stands against one wall. Among the items you spot something useful. Place the holy water common item as indicated. An investigator can pick up an item and place it, an item in his space as part of his trade action. Alright, let me go find this holy water. Well, the holy water says discard 1 horror and become focused. Then discard this card. So I'm going to put it right where you see on the screen. And let's continue. And we have another Explore token to the north. A door on the other side of the room leads to the back hall. Place an Explore token as indicated. Alright, got one right here. That's done. You may move one space into the explored area. And I think I'll have Harvey Walters do that. He's going to take one step right in there in front of that search token. And I think that does it for our investigators. 2 actions apiece. With our investigators phases finished, let's move on. And I think we're ready for the Mythos phase. A loose, fluttering page covered in barely legible text catches Harvey Walters' eye. Unable to resist, he reads, Harvey Walters suffers 2 face-down horror, but a lore check could negate this. Then he flips 1 horror face up. Oh boy. Alright, here he is. You should know better than to read this stuff. We have a lore of 4. So we're going to roll this and see if we can negate the 2 face-down horror that we're going to gain. So let's give this a roll and see if he can pass this check. And we do have 2 successes that should negate the horror. So good for Harvey Walters. Let's see what happens. All right, so we're back to the application here. We did do the horror check, but his lore negated it. So I guess that was all there was to it. So since he didn't suffer any, we didn't have one to flip face up, so don't exactly know what that did. Let's continue on. We might as well continue on with another round. Let's go back to Jenny down here. She wants to ask another question here of Eugene. So here she goes. Eugene calmly tells you what happened before you arrived. Several robed figures entered the mansion through the side door and took Mr. Vanderbilt to the yard. Soon after they arrived, I heard them chanting. All right, well, let's ask him, where is that? Those ruffians took Mr. Vanderbilt to the yard. You can get to the yard through the west door of the hall, but the door is locked. Mr. Vanderbilt likely keeps the key in his... Wait. I'm not sure if he would want me trusting you with this. Alright, it's time to turn on the charm. This would be... what kind of test? This is going to be our first here. Influence, it looks like. Let's see if Jenny Barnes can influence Eugene here. Alright, well there's Jenny. She's got, wow, I think influence is her best trait, or her best skill. We're going to be able to roll all 5 dice, and with that lucky rabbit's foot even re-roll one that we don't like. So let's get out 5 dice and see how many successes we can get. Okay, 1 influence roll coming up for Jenny Barnes. And we've got success, success, success. We can use our lucky rabbit's foot. Re-roll 1 die once per round. So I don't know. Do we want to do that now? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's re-roll that one. We got another magnifying glass there. A clue. Didn't we have something? We could turn on the focus, but I think 3 successes should be good enough. So let's leave it at that. Let's enter in 3 and just hopefully that's enough for him to trust us. Alright, well Jenny Barnes got 3 successes. That should be good enough, I would think. Alright, Mr. Vanderbilt has a hidden office that he often retreats to. The door is hidden in the estate's library, which is through the north door when you get into the hall. It uses a very strange lock hidden behind a bookshelf. The butler instructs you how to open the secret door in the library. We need to gain 1 clue. Alright, so that's 2 clue tokens for Jenny Barnes. Let's move on. Okay, well, I think Jenny Barnes wants to take another moment and look around here. She spots the china cabinet, and this has been repurposed to store all manner of knickknacks, and she's going to spend her second action to search it. The cabinet holds candles, wooden statuettes, stones, beads, and other random objects. You try to discern what they could be for. We need to make a lore check. Well, as we saw, Jenny Barnes is quite the talker, but lore is not her best skill. She's got 3 dice in it. So let's remove 2 of these and give this a roll. And we don't know how many we need, but we're rolling pretty well here. We've got 2 successes. Let's enter that in. Alright, we got 2 successes on that lore check. Maybe that's enough. As you dig through the objects, you begin to form a hunch that makes you uneasy. You have heard of objects such as these found at the site of occult rituals. They could prove useful to your investigation. Gain the circumstantial evidence, unique item, and 1 clue. Then discard this search token. Well, the circumstantial evidence card really doesn't seem to do anything, but we've added a 3rd clue token to Jenny Barnes, so that's good for her. That was her second action, so she's done. I guess that takes us back to Harvey Walters. He's definitely going to check out what was on the desk here. It's covered with some clutter, and let's spend his actions to check it out. You dig through the dense paperwork, cluttering the desk, looking for anything of interest. Let's make an observation check, and let's use our magnifying glass. Alright, so he's checking out this desk here, and we're going to remove the search token. And our observation is 4, and that magnifying glass says roll 1 additional die while resolving an observation. Yes, so this is going to be 5. Let's hope for good things. 2 successes and 2 clues. We can use our lucky cigarette case. And we can, let's see, once per round you may convert all of those into successes. Why don't we do that? We'll use our lucky cigarette case right here. And that's going to let us convert all of those clues into successes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's kind of turn that card to indicate we've used it for this round. And Jenny Barnes, she used her, what was it, lucky rabbit's foot. It didn't instruct me to do it that way, but that just lets me keep an eye on things. So 4 successes. Alright, so Harvey Walters really did well. 4 successes for him. As you shuffle through the seemingly endless paperwork covering the desk, you spot a weathered journal that looks out of place amidst the mundane clutter. The cover of the journal is marked Lilith Vanderbilt. Gain the old journal unique item and discard this search token. The investigator holding the old journal can read through its entries by interacting with it in the application. Alright, we've got the old journal and we've put that into Harvey Walters' inventory. So let's click continue. And then Harvey Walters, I think this is where we do it. Yes. For his second action, he's going to interact with this journal. Let's read it. You turn to an entry from several years ago. William has gotten increasingly secretive since he started that astronomy association. He's been working on some secret project in the yard, and even installed a lock and alarm to keep people out. What he does not know is that I have found the wiring he installed in his bedroom in the back of the house. I can use it to unlock the door to the yard when he is gone. We get to gain one clue. Alright, we've given a clue to Harvey. We'll continue. The journal entries continue for several months. You can continue reading as an action. Well, we don't have any more, so we have to cancel that. And I think we need to end things for our investigators for now. Yes. Jenny Barnes squints against even the weakest light, and the pain in her head throbs in time with her heartbeat. A strength check of 1 is what we need to do. If she passes, and someone gave me some good advice, maybe I shouldn't continue to read on. So let me just see if she passes or not, and then we'll find out what happens. Now, perhaps you read on the screen what happens, but I haven't. We're going to need to make a strength check. She's got a strength of 3. You see it there in the top right. So let's take 3 of our dice and give them a roll. She's already used her special rabbit's foot, so we can't re-roll anything. We've got 1 success. I think that was enough. I think it said strength 1 to pass this, so let's see what happens. Alright, so coming back to the screen, if she passes, the headache is just a distraction to work through. Alright, she did pass. If she fails, she clutches her head and vomits violently onto the ground. She suffers 1 face-down damage and drops 2 items. What in the world? Well, she's a tough little cookie, so she passed that test and she's okay. So we're hanging in there. And we're back to the investigators. Well, I think I better stop it here tonight. We've played a couple of rounds and we've had some good rolls and good successes, so things are going well, I guess. Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know if I goofed anywhere, and I'll catch you later.